We are about 15 miles north of downtown Miami. This is Hard Rock Stadium here in South Florida. Good to have you with us. Mike Tirico and Greg Olson with you. You know, partner, fantasy football doesn't take into account the guys close to the football, the guys at the line of scrimmage. This is one where our eyes are going to be focused on that battle in the trenches all game long.
Mike, it doesn't matter if it's Pee-wee football, middle school football, or NFL football. You can only do offensively what your offensive line allows you to do. And I think that's exactly the case for both of these teams here today. They are going to win or lose based on the ability of gaining an advantage in the offense and defensive line. So I think we're going to see downhill run game. I think we're going to see play action pass. And the team that's able to impose their will up front along the trenches, I think that's going to be the team that finds himself at the end of this one coming out with the win.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. First carry for Saquon Barkley. Room to run right away. Gets to the edge at the 30. And they're not going to run him down. He goes all the way. 74 yards. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The extra point by Elliott is good. And the Eagles will take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field. And we're back to it as the kick's away. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he decides not to bring it out. So they'll take over at the 30-yard line. Throwing right away is Allen. Looking for his tight end on the corner route. He's got it. They'll gain 17 on that one. A very quick first down. They'll try to get the running game going. His first carry. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. Second down and 8. Out of the gun, here's Allen. That's over the middle, but it's incomplete.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
And it looks like he's going to have the first down. Look, great work after the catch to extend the drive.
There's never a good time to fumble the ball. It's probably the thing that teams stress the most is ball security. But it makes it a little bit easier knowing that your own team was able to fall on top of it, and at least you can maintain possession.
Play action. It's Allen. He'll go right and find his running back. It'll be a pickup of 10. First down, Miami.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here. I think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so it might be his first target, but I don't think it's going to be his last. The drag route. We used to say this is day one install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position, and depending on the speed and the run after catch ability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest hits.
And now in great shape. He's taken inside the 10.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even as simple as, my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance.
And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. One more time, rolling up top without. To the end zone there, but it is incomplete.
You can feel them starting to press a little bit, especially with this passing game. They find themselves so close to the end zone, they got to get it over the goal line. You got to be a little bit more accurate. You got to be a little...
It is brought in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Now, to the point after. It's up and good. And the Dolphins come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. CeeDee Lamb there to return it. Now an opening past the 30. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. To break the huddle, coming up now for first and 10. He'll start on the field with Barkley. And despite his best efforts to get away, ultimately, he goes down behind the line.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line. A touchdown apiece here in the first quarter of play. Pair of 7. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. Fires quickly. It is complete on the slant. A run here with Johnson. And they'll take this down inside the 35. He'll drop to throw. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find the receiver, and down he goes. So after the loss on first, here's second and 14. On the give, it's Johnson. And he'll be very close to a first down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot. On third down, here's Johnson. This will not do the trick. They've stopped him behind the line. Fourth down coming up. He'll look to throw. That is going to be hauled in. He's got it. Rome Odunze. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
All week, we're going to see this play be run over and over as a highlight of the quarterback and the receiver. But, Mike, the part that people don't give enough credit to, in order to get a downfield shot, you have to have time. And what a great job by the offensive line, allowing the quarterback to be comfortable enough in the pocket, let those deeper routes develop, be on time and accurate with the ball, and that's why this play is going to be a highlight all week. Let's give the big guys up front some credit.
Get across the 20, mark them at the 22-yard line. fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. From the gun, Josh Allen. That one into the hands of Jefferson. Nice game here. He's going to be marked down at the 35-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go until halftime. Off the play fake, here's Allen. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back.
Really nice job here by the defense, staying disciplined as the quarterback gets flushed from the pocket. I mean, how often do we see those guys kind of creep in and allow the ball thrown over their head? They took away everything downfield, and all the quarterback could do was dump this one off short to his back, and there wasn't much there. Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it, continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath. I think there's one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks. And now they got a fourth down decision.
That is incomplete. They took a chance throwing it on fourth and short. The cannons of the pirate ship ready to fire in the north end zone. We can only be one place. Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa, the home of the Buccaneers. So pleased to have you along. This should be a good one. We're set, and off we go here on EA Sports. The return team gonna let that one go. Zone. It's a touchback. Here's 1st and 10. To throw on the first play, it's Smith. He's going to test this secondary right away. And he's going to give a short field to his offense here as they try to break the tie.
An opening play call like that, Mike, has exactly one goal. Let's connect on something early and quiet this home crowd. But all they did was energize them. I mean, listen to this place after that interception. They're feeding into it. They're giving this offense extra momentum as they now take the field.
And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Baker. And the reception for Chris Godwin. And the Bucs are going to be set up. 1st and goal, he's out of bounds at the 6-yard line. A gain there of 13 yards. And he's going the wrong way, dropped back at the 7. From a little further back, here's 2nd and goal. They'll go with him again. And he's close to the goal line, but they're going to mark him short. Put him down at the 1. And waiting, no signal. He did not get in. And that's going to bring up 4th and goal. Good blocking, and he's in. Bucky Irving. Touchdown, Buccaneers. On is Chase McLaughlin for the extra point. He's got it. And the Buccaneers will take a 7-0 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The first carry for the spot. Kenneth Walker. And a nice game there on 1st down. He takes it forward for 8 yards. Throwing on 2nd down. Smith. There's the big tight end pass. 17 yards. The gain there. 1st down, Seattle.
We spent so much time talking about arm strength, and while that certainly has a place in the conversation, look at the touch of this ball, Mike. It's a deep corner route. This ball needs to have the right pace, the right trajectory to not only get it over the second-level defenders, but get that ball down into the hands of his target. He makes it look a lot easier than it actually is.
A 2nd down throw for Smith. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Mike, these are just the
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Stroud looks to throw on the first play. Eluding the pressure right. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
And as talented as he is, you know he's going to see a lot of footballs coming his way in this one. They want to get him involved. And here, they were hoping for something right out of the gate. But that one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10. Stroud to throw it. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Stroud looking to throw. Flush to his right. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They work now on 2nd down. Stroud. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll give it to Mixon. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This is caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the wall. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence. It allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. And it'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. Mixon unable to find the goal line on fourth down. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. Now it's Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Henry again on second down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They go play action with Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 43. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
We often hear the phrase short-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Down to the 41.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's Jackson to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And to the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They're all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, 41 yards. And the Ravens post the first points in the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Tucker with the extra point. That makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone to potentially tie this game up. And it'll be pulled in downfield by Collins. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Let's go!
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an
If you want to get better at Madden, just watch me play.
They're begging their defense now.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Throwing is Jackson. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. That incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Jackson now. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong. And
That's cap, man. I'm catching that.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll let this go deep for Collins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Stroud. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stroud working out of the gun.
I'm like that out there, fam. I'm like that, chat. Let's go. Let me go ahead and turn up one time for this. for the check.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Flushed out right. And now look at this. Big gain, the fumble. And the Texans scoop it. But they will not be able to...
We did that because it's halftime, chat. Come on, you know I would have slid.
On the first half of play. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And that flag accepted. Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10 at the 40. He'll start with a give to Henry. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. To throw is Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And all the way in for the Ravens touchdown.
I keep my eyes down that field, fam.
Catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that's our score, 17-0.
If we ain't brushing, we ragged up.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it?
He's got him in, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Here's Stroud. Forced out to his left. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
We're in Baltimore. 3rd quarter action. 2nd and 10. Play action. Stroud now. They'll let this go deep for Collins. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And this is incomplete. Oh, looked like he had a pretty good read on that. It would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
And this is a situation where, as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game through execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
Stroud now on 4th down. They intercept Stroud again, the 3rd time in this game. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept the pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now. And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson rolling to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Jackson to Bateman there, 1st down Ravens. And defensive, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful with a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone.
Into a sea of defenders, had intercepted. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they've got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right. Breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And 22 more yards. With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Stroud looks to throw on the first play. That's complete to Dell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down. Man in motion left. That's Collins. Throwing now is Stroud. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A shotgun snap to Stroud. That is caught by Dell. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion. Stroud. On a slant, here's Collins. And the Texans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Touchdown! Dalton Schultz, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Texans are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. This will go to Henry out wide. He's still on his feet. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we get up by he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. After 7-0 on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Play action. It's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. A check down here for Henry. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
In man coverage, your number one cardinal rule, don't get beat deep. And that's why the comeback route is so effective, because that's how they're selling it, Brandon. Taking you all the way upfield before breaking it back down.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. There he goes, left side. Joe Mixon, touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon, 56 yards. And the Texans are able to extend their lead.
We know it's primarily a passing league now, but anytime a runner breaks one like that, you've got to have a secondary that can find a way to him and find a way to get him on the ground. Absent of that, he's going to find the end zone every time.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. They go play action with Jackson. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Jackson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense...
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Tyler Bass about ready to get us going. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And with a well-placed kickoff, that's what these new rules can do for you, as he'll be backed up to start this drive.
That return, it will not be on the postseason highlight reel. If you're the offensive coordinator, you've just changed your play calling because you thought you might have some field to work with. Instead, now, you've got to call plays that won't make mistakes.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Second and 9. Play action. Now Jackson. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Now it's Jackson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, short of them returning it for a pick 6, that was about the worst start you could ask for in this one because your advantage of getting the ball first is gone, and they're set up a short distance from your end zone. Now you're counting on your defense to prevent a touchdown, and your offense, you better be ready to come out swinging on the next series.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Incomplete, right side to Cook. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Bills are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here is 3rd and 5. this only up to about the 36. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. A first down carry for Henry. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. They go play action now. Jackson. Left sideline, a dime, and it looks like he's got it. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 39-yard line. Inside handoff, Henry. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now 2nd and 3. Again, it's Henry. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Jackson. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together? This has been difficult paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. A give to Henry. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd down, ball on the 3, 1st down marker at the 1-yard line. Now a handoff to Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Here's 3rd and 6. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. A.J. Epinesa, the one credited for the sack. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left,
should have went for that 7, fam.
This will be a 34-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And there is, but I think the ball's out. Well, it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So we thought maybe they would have a chance to extend this lead on the opening drive of the second half. Instead, they cough it up.
Obviously not an ideal start when you're trying to get a little separation, and I can guarantee that they talked about that in the locker room. Let's get out there, start this quarter the right way. Let's try and put some points on the board and create some space.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield strike.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Running from the gun with Henry. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. It's a 6-yard run. Leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Jackson's going to try the sneak, and he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Derrick Henry looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. A quick throw there is incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Better than that.